Hello everybody, and welcome back to our Waterfall journal. Yesterday we did this collage, which is gorgeous. I love it. I love these tealy colours. It's really nice. And the day before that we actually constructed the journal and put some a piece of pattern paper on the back. So that's finished. So today that brings us to page 2, and I've already cut out my piece of paper. It's different colour to yesterday's, but it's the same. It's actually out of that heirloom pad, if you remember, and this is just a paper I just honestly do not think I'd ever use, so I'm using it for this, and that's just fine. I think it fits in there nicely. So let's just remove this, because we're going to be working on this until it's finished, and then we'll stick it into our journal. So I'm looking straight ahead of me at my iPad, and I have a picture on it of the original journal that I did, and the lady who's purchasing this one wants it to be as near as possible to the one that I've already done. So I've got a good thing to go by. Okay, this page is sort of creams and reds, and it's very pretty. The image on the top is this fuchsia here. So I think I probably need to cut that out. Don't worry about the little bits that we lose along the way. They can always be used further down the line for other collages and stuff. So I'm going to cut down. Where does it look like? It looks like about there, I would say, with my rotary cutter, and I'm cutting on my cutting mat, so all's well. I'm just going to cut that bit there. I think that's sufficient. I think I'm cutting more than I need, to be honest, but I'm going to cut that off right the way along and see what we're left with. Okay, let's just pop that there. Now I want that, can't pick anything up. I want that fuchsia just at the top of that page, so I'm just holding it up so I can see where the fuchsia is. That's it, right at the top, which is very similar to the other one. I want it across a little bit. I think that's pretty similar to the last one, but we'll build the rest of the page up first and see what we need and if we need to cut it or whatever. Now then, along here, this part should I say, I had a photograph, and which one was it? This one, this photograph here, and it went up to the top. I think I'm going to have to cut this because I can't see where I'm working otherwise. Yikes. What shall I do? Well, I want that fuchsia in, that much I'm sure of, and I want it to go a fair way across. So let's cut it there. Let's just be brave. You know things go wrong when I'm brave, but you gotta try, haven't you? So let's cut that along there, and then let's just rotate the whole thing. This mat is actually meant to rotate, but it doesn't work very well. I had it when I used to do a lot of quilting. It was very convenient then. Right, let's see. Let's hope that we've got a piece left that is the piece we want. Oh, that's anything but straight, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to put that there. I think that is the right place. I think it's the same as the one I did previously. I just want that like that. So it's, because this line here is not straight. I don't know what's up with me today. Don't say it's going to be one of those days. Right, and then I've got this photograph that comes just almost up to that fuchsia, and it comes up to the top. So yeah, that's fine. Actually, I'm thinking that's further across because I've got slightly more of this photograph in the original. So let's move that to there. Let's move that to there. Yeah, that's looking better. Looking better. Otherwise, when we put the lace on, you won't see any of that photograph at all. So the next thing, let me just check I've got all the components before I start trying to assemble this, is this. I'm not sure if that goes over or under that photograph. Move up, thank you. Stamps, which is the right way up. I always have a job with these telling the right way up. Ah, there's a number 2 there, so that's a good clue. And they go just there in that corner. Like that. This goes on top of them, but under that photograph, I think. So there, just under that, under the photograph and on top of that. No, I don't think that's right. And this, I've chopped out the actual people. Right, I'm going to have to get my board out again. There's no way I can cut that straight. Not at all. So let's just cut the people out. Seems a bit of a waste, but you've got to use the bits you want to use. Otherwise you'll end up wasting the whole thing, won't you? So it's just there to the left of those stairs. And it's kind of, I'm gonna do it there. That might be a bit overly much, to be honest, but I'd rather cut too much than too little. And I don't want any of this on the bottom, so I'm gonna trim that off. There we go. So let's see if this is going to fit. I've got it stuck in my t-shirt. So that goes over the stamps like so. Ah yes, look at that. It's, I haven't got much room to play with, I'll tell you. I want that to come over that to go behind there. Like that. Yeah, there's not an awful lot of room to play with there, but there is enough. But I need to move this in a bit. I need to cut that off about there, I'd say. Oh my goodness me. Out with the chopping board again. Driving myself mad. Yeah, about there, I'd say. Or more? No, about there. Before I put the chopping board away, I'm just going to test that theory. Yeah, that's fine. That's grand. Okay. And the other thing that needs to go on is it has this row of sort of postage stamps, because this just isn't quite wide enough. So that goes from there down to there, about there. Oh, I see. I can move that down. There's something else that goes in here. There we are. That goes, I think it got turned it upside down for no good reason whatsoever. I think that goes over there, right up to the edge, and I think it goes up to that one there. There we go. And you will see that there's still this gap in the middle, which we can't be having. But that's where this comes into play. That's a bit of a skanky edge down there, isn't it? Let's cut that off. I'm going to try and do it with scissors. Yeah, that didn't end up too great, but I'm going to zigzag that bit. So that goes there, like that. Just over that and just over that. Just like that, I think. So you can still see the fuchsia, part of this photograph, part of this recipe, the label, the stamps, this photograph, and these stamps. You know, I'm going to move this over slightly further because I just think that by the time we get the lace on, you wouldn't really see those stamps. So, yeah, is she still on it? Yeah, just about. I think I'm going to have to trim that down a wee bit. And I honestly don't trust myself, so I'm just going to trim that down there. Just so I can move it over a bit and allow us to see some more of those stamps, I think. That's the plan. That is the plan. Yeah, okay. So the edges, yeah, that's fine. That's great. Marvellous. So that's the page. It just needs assembling, chopping and trimming and all of that good. Oh no, something else that goes there actually. It's this. And that just goes down there. And it just kind of makes it actually. I don't know how I missed that. And then when we've done all that, there's buttons and lace and whatnot and so on and so forth. Right. Let's see if we can get this assembled in any way. I'm going to put a mark on my... Look at this. That's ridiculous. I'm going to put a mark there. That's where I want to glue this to. And it will be the first piece that we put down. So let's just get this right. Let's go in there. Yeah, that's fine. So that's fine there. That's grand, in fact. Lovely. And the next thing is... This is a complicated one, isn't it? Oh, let's put that on my glue. This is complicated. There's lots of layers here. I think this is the next piece. But then again, I think that piece... You know, I think the postage stamps might be the next bit. So let's just move those. Stick these down. It's a bit of thinking about on this one actually. But we'll be okay, we can think. Just going to move that over just a little bit. Because it's going to be more interesting if you can see a part. Two parts of a stamp than one full stamp. So that goes there definitely. And then I think the next thing that goes on is this, and that goes over it. So let's see exactly where we want this. We want it right on that edge, and it does come right to the other edge. So yeah, excellent. Let's do that. Running out of glue. I have got more, I mean, I'm just running out of glue in my little bottle. Okay, so let's cover up the top of the stamps and the bottom of the fuchsia and cuddle that up. I'm just going to see if I can pull it across a bit so I can get more text there. Yeah, okay. Right, that's great. I'm happy with that so far. Let's trim off all the surplus bits so we can see the wood for the trees, as they say. I'm just supporting it underneath so I can trim it square. I think the lady who once this journal has twigged to the fact that this is her journal that I'm making. So she's probably watching me make it. I can feel her eyes upon me. I'm doing my best. There's just this little bit here at the top too. Those scissors are not the best for that. These ones are better. Mr. F's cutting the grass. I don't know if you can hear that or not. And Bobby's being the foreman. He's watching out the window. Right, so that's that. Is there any sewing at this stage? No, I don't think so. I think they're all behind. Well, this one actually probably needs sewing. Along there, along this piece here. But is there two things I can sew at the same time? Very possibly. Right, I want to show that fuchsia. That's what all that fussy cutting was about. So that's going there like that. Okay. I think I can get away with just cutting up there and preserving a bit of that, because that could come in from different collage, you know, like that. So we'll preserve that bit and I'll stick this down. Then we might actually get round to doing some sewing. Who knows? Actually, it's much easier because I've already got a pattern, if you like, to go off. When you're auditioning every single piece, oh my goodness, it takes hours, hours and hours, it really does. Right, so I've got to show that fuchsia. So don't get carried away covering that up. Right, is that square? Maybe not. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. Right, so that definitely needs sewing down, and that needs sewing down across there. Where's this going? Oh no, I've cut it off too short. Oh, I've put that up too high. Oh, goodness. Good job we just tack them on. Yeah, that needs to come lower down, doesn't it? Is that what happens? And then this goes there. And this goes here. Let's come over a bit to there. Yeah, that's what I did wrong. I tacked that down too high up. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all. Let's just pop some more glue on here. See what a good fixing it gets though for just a really thin bead of glue. I tell you, that Cosmic Shimmer glue is good. I like it. Right, so let's just see. That's going there. So I need this to come down to about there. Does that work? Yeah, that just works. Actually, I can bring this down a little bit more because we've got that label going there. So it should be all right. There we go. Right, I think we're okay like that. And then the label's going there, that's going there, this is going here, that's going there. Yeah, that's it. We're all right. We're okay. So what do I need to sew down? Just along there and round there. Then I'll come back and sort everything else. So see you in two ticks. Okay, so I've got those sewn. Just cut my threads off, otherwise they irritate me. There are projects that I do where I quite like having long ends, but this isn't one of them. So we'll chop those off. Don't worry about the fraying, it'll all get taken care of. Right, so for my next trick, this needs to go on there and get sewn around, probably zigzagged around, I think. For no good reason, just I fancy it zigzagged. So that's going there, and what's the next thing? This. Right, does that go under there? It might just a little bit, I think. Yeah, I think it might. So in which case we need to sew that on. So it's a bit uppy downy today because my sewing machine's on another table, so it's keeping me moving around anyway. So let's just dropped it. Let's just check where that one wants to start. About there. And up that side, and it's going to end there. Yeah, that's fine. So I just want to sew around that. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so excuse me, those are sewn round, so I need to just put this one on and this one on, and both of them fairly independent, so I can put them on you know, both together. So let's just see where the bottom of that is. Make sure it's straight, flush I should say. There we go. So a little bit of glue on here. Quite like this red and sort of creamy tan page actually. It just stands out nicely. So I want that right in that corner. Yeah, that's fine, because those stamps are just off flush. That's why it's always a good idea to keep trimming everything. Then you can see where other things need to be. Right, so that's that there. Then this one, this little label. Is going just under that leaf, like that, I think, yeah. No, it might be slightly further over than that, about there. Okay, I think that's okay. Does all that look straight? Yes, it does. Well, isn't that a miracle? Right, so now I'm off to sew around that, and I probably will zigzag it just to make a bit of a feature of it. And this, which I probably will zigzag as well, because it's kind of the top layer. All the others are all held in place now, apart from this one. So off I go again. See you in a sec. Okay, so that's those sewn around. Let me just take the thread ends off. What else? I sew both of them, as I said, with a zigzag stitch. I think they look quite nice with the zigzag. Right, so is that it? No, the little red. Let's just trim these off. As I said, I leave these quite long because they're going to be glued down. And it's just a bit of added insurance, I suppose. Right, so that now gets put on there. And that's a true piece of collage in my books. I don't know if there's a right and a wrong way of that, to be honest, but we'll pop that there anyway. Actually, I'm going to put it that way. What the heck? So that's going there, and I'm going to straight stitch that on, and that just adds another layer, which is great. It's what you want with collages. Not that I'm the collage queen or anything, because I'm not. And honestly, everybody at the moment seems to be doing collages of one sort or another. It's obviously the fashion. So I'm going to put that there. I haven't seen too many people do fabric collages. And that, I think once we get that down, you know, I think that might be that. So I'll just go and whiz round there, and then when I finish that, I will whiz round the whole thing with a zigzag stitch. Let me just trim off these ends before I go. Might as well. Any more for any more? Little one there. Okay, so I'm going to stitch around there, then I'm going to zigzag the whole thing. Okay, so that's that sewn on, and we've sewn right round the perimeter of it, outside of it, so we're cooking. Next bit is to prettify it. And it needs, according to my picture, some lace from there to there. So let's just cut that off. Let's see if we can cut it the right length. About there. Oh, I'm going to have to make it longer. I can't live on the edge like that. What would I do if it was too short? And I need a piece that goes from there to there. So let's cut that there. Okay. Right. So I'm actually going to put the glue on the lace this time. I think it works just a little bit better. There's not much to be gained either which way. But you want plenty. Or even plenty plus. Yeah, plenty plus, that's what's needed. And a little bit on the tip of each of those. Just to keep it in place. And I'm going down the edge of that one. This one not so much because it might not end up being the edge. So it goes along the top of this photograph like that. Good job. Good job. I'm just going to pat that down with my Timmy towel. There we go, and trim that off nice and flush. So the next piece is this that goes up the side of that ticket there. Which is the right and which is the wrong? I think that's the wrong. Oh, I took the lid off. Definitely. So, I don't know if I told you guys, but I've been on a diet. Well, I'm on a diet. Let's do this end. Yeah, I had to go and see the nurse, and it was a whole thing. You know what it's like. If any of you are overweight, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The only thing they see when they look at you is somebody who's overweight. So, I mean, it is bad. I'm diabetic, etc. So, you know, I shouldn't. Well, nobody should be overweight, but you'd think that I would know better, really. But I do like my food. But anyway, the nurse sort of gave me the once over, and she said that she could join me to a slimming group over here called Slimming World. I don't know if you have it in the States or not. For 12 weeks, free on the NHS. So I said, yeah, that might just be the thing that I'm looking for to push me in the right direction. So I got the thing from Slimming World, joined up, blah, blah. And I have stuck to it. I have stuck to it religiously. And I must say, it's not a difficult diet to stick to. There's loads of food to eat, but all of it you've got to sort of cook from scratch, which is great because I have Mr. F, who is, world famous chef. And we've been doing really well, and so far I've lost half a stone, 7 pounds. So I'm delighted about that. Today's weigh-in day. Thursday is always weigh-in day for us. So depends how it goes, what mood I'm in for the rest of the day. But so far it's been going really well, so I can't see any reason to give up on it. We're doing well, we're doing okay. Right, so the next thing that needs to happen is there's 3 buttons goes down there. Now I've got this one that I absolutely love. It wasn't on the original. I found it the other day and I kept it to one side. It's just lovely. It's going on here, I tell you, because I really like it. It's going in the middle, and I've got these flower buttons here, which I'm going to try, see what they look like. Oh, it's just a little bit too thick, that, actually. That's a shame. That is a shame. But not for this project, mate. Move along. What else have I got? Got a little fisheye one there. Any others? What's that one? Same one as the other one. Just trying to see if I've got 3 different, really. Let's have a look. I don't think there's any red in this bag. I don't want to put cream on, I want red. No, there's no red there. That's okay, I'll use these 2, top and bottom, and that really gorgeous one in the middle. That's what I shall do. So let's stick those on. I'm going to stick them on with my Cosmic Shimmer because actually I find it works faster than the Distress Collage medium. So let's pop that one there. So it's right at that intersection of all those. Photograph, label, this. And I'm just going to stick it on there. As I say, if you are a proficient needle person, I'm sure you don't need to stick these on. If I don't, they just move all over the place and they drive me mad. So I'm sticking mine on. Ooh. I'm going to leave that sort of gap there. That's just such a cracking button. Isn't it funny, the things we get excited about? Well, the things I get excited about. Anyway. It's harmless though, isn't it? I mean, if you get excited by a button, what harm is that to anybody? I think they're fairly well spaced out, fairly even. Right, so I'll leave those for a minute to dry. I'll just get rid of that on the top of my glue. And I've got some thread in my needle. Let me put these away, because if not, Catkin's going to come along and think it's his birthday. Oops. He loves getting things like this that he can push around, particularly on the kitchen floor where there's no carpet. So things slide really well on the kitchen floor. So he picks them up in his mouth and trots off to the kitchen with them, where you can hear him batting them around, having a nice old time for himself. Right, that's those put away. He's in his bed actually at the moment, most unusual. So I've got a length of embroidery, this stuff, and there's 6 strands in each of these, so I've just halved this, so I've got three strands, and I'm going to attempt to tie a knot. I'm really rubbish at this. I see people doing this with one hand. I mean, how on earth do you do that? I've no idea. But this is how I do mine, which is a bit sort of long-handed way, I'm sure, of doing it. But you end up with a knot in your thread, and actually that's all that matters. So I'm going to put some stitching along here and down here. I'll start with this one. So I'm going in at the edge of that hole, just cross stitch again. and I'm poking through from the right side where I want my stitch to be, to come out, save making too many holes in the paper. I want to come out there. No, I want to come out there. I'm trying to be a bit better at this cross stitch malarkey. Not that it matters, because as long as it looks all right on the front, that's really all that matters. But you know, I'd quite like to be a little bit better anyway. There, out there. Ooh, we've got a wriggle on today. And out there. I just think this is worth it all. It's worth all the fuss and time it takes to do it. It just looks like somebody has really cared about their project. And you guys that know me will know that I certainly do care about my projects. I want them always to look the best they can. This is a really nice project, this waterfall journal, though. I don't think this is going to be the last time that I'm going to be making a waterfall journal. And I hope you give it a try, because it's not difficult. I mean, you don't have to put fabric collage in it. You don't have to put collage at all. Just the actual fundamentals of making the thing. Gives you a nice journal, I think. Yeah, see, this is better. This is going better. It's looking smarter on the back and everything. Given time, I might get reasonably proficient at this. But then again, maybe not. Then up there. And that is that row of cross stitch done. There. Excellent. So I'm just going to tie my thread off. Just like that. I think that'll do, because as I say, it's going to be glued in place eventually. And then I'm going to do that, and then, well, I'll just the buttons are a little bit set. I'll just show you in case you didn't watch yesterday's. I just go in from the right side, I hold a little tail, I push through where the other hole of the button is, come back up there. It's nothing complicated, says she who can't get the needle back up. I don't know why that would happen. Because I'm filming, I guess. That's it. So it comes up that other hole, and then you just cut your thread off, tie a knot, and that's that button on. So it's glued on and it's stitched on, and it looks nice because you can see that it's stitched. And because we've gone in from the front side, you can see that, you can see the ends where we trim it. So it looks really nice, also I believe. So let's just trim the ends. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other two buttons and this lace along here. So I'll just carry on with that, and then you can join me again when we're ready to stick it in and see what it looks like. See you in a sec. Okay, so there we are. I've got everything, the buttons sewn on, cross stitch in place. We're ready to go. So the next thing is just to put the lace on down the side. So just cut a piece off at kind of the right length. I'll cut it there. My fear of cutting things too short. And it goes that way, like that. So once again, I'm going to glue the lace, not the book. I think it just works a bit better actually. So there's no stitching on this lace at the side. It's just the lace, and it looks really nice, I think. When you see all the sheets of the waterfall together, I think it looks nice. I think that's enough glue on there. And I'm just going to put some on these bits here. Hold it in place. There we go. This needs glue right at the end as well. Stop it fraying. Okay, let's go. Let's just check. Yeah, this is the top and this is the right side. So let's go. Just pop that right on the edge. There we go, lovely. I've got quite a lot of glue on my medium, that needs a good clean. There we are, let's cut off this excess here. And then let's glue it in the book. Ooh. Let me just check there's nothing that's gonna get on the back of the book. Right, so this is going to be stuck so that you can just see that lace like that, except it will be stuck down so it'll be easier like that there. Why don't you want to do that? It's just being awkward, I think. Yeah, that's lovely. Yep, that's great. So let's stick it on. Once again, for those of you that missed yesterday's exciting episode, I'm using Collal. Fabri-Tac, Fabrifix, Beacon 3-in-1. I think anything like that would do the job very well. Just I want to catch, make sure that all the stitching is glued down so it's secure. Not anticipating any of it coming undone, but I like to have glue over it just to be sure. Make sure that you've got glue over the stitching, because that, especially around the edge, that's the bit that will cause you problems potentially. There we go. Right. So let's place that there. Just want about 1/8 of an inch there. Let's put that down. Just check that's level, which I think it is. So right, now we can push that down, and that is that page done and dusted. Yay, well done us. And I'm just going to leave that overnight to dry out thoroughly, and we're progressing. Look at that. Really nice. So next page is, I can't remember, but let me just play the, oh, it's the blue page. It's the blue page tomorrow or the next day when I put a video out. So yeah, lovely. I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for sticking with me. It's looking really nice so far, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.